live. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started because we're already 17 minutes in. I want you to have the most content today for this time that we have together. So welcome, thank you all so much, and thank you for your patience. I'm super excited to share with you today my grant writing boss journey and chat with you about where you are and what you need to take your business to the next level. So if you could say in the chat just where you are, and if you are already a grant writer, I would love to see in the chat if you're already a grant writer. And if you're not, that's okay too, because we're going to talk about how you can take your grant writing or your writing skills and turn that into grant writing. Okay, Stacy's a grant writer. Jacqueline is a grant writer. Leah's a grant writer. Yes, yes, yes. Jamie, Brittany, Shay, awesome. Fantastic. So my goal today is to explain to you how I grew my business over the last 6 years from a last minute, out of desperation decision to a multiple six-figure endeavor that makes a positive impact on my clients, on my team, and on me and my family. And I really hope that sharing my grant writing boss journey will inspire you to pursue your own entrepreneurial aspirations, build upon your existing business, and give you some insight into the essential strategies that have helped me strategically grow my small freelance gig into a business that I'm really, really proud of. Okay, so I want to hear from you all again. I hope that this can be an interactive session. I want to know what makes you feel like a boss. Is it taking care of your family's bills? Let me know in the comments. Is it having the money to really take care of yourself, like getting regular massages or paying for a gym membership or buying fresh foods? What makes you feel like a boss? Is it a specific feeling that you're going for? Is it celebrating career wins with dinner out with friends? Is it getting a thank you note from a client you wrote a successful grant for? Whenever a client writes me and says, oh my gosh, thank you so much, I got this grant, I'm just on a high for the rest of the day. I'm so happy the rest of the day. It's almost like I got the money, So let's see here. A lot of people are saying independence. Independence and freedom, making my own schedule, using my talents to pay myself. Yes. Being able to pay the bills and have a little money left over to have some fun, that is the most amazing feeling. Ability to control who I work for, yes. So saying no to people you don't want to work with, that's right. I love that. To have greater control of my time, freedom to set my own schedule and take vacations, yes, vacations. Financial freedom, purchasing power, yes. Freedom to explore, helping people, control of schedule, paying bills with extra left over to invest. Yes, investing is my jam right now. Making my own rules, making an impact in the community. Okay, so lots of amazing, amazing responses to that. So one thing I'll tell you that made me feel really boss was back in 2018, because of my business, I was able to make a down payment on our house, the one that I'm in right now, and in the same month, pay the entire trip for our honeymoon to Maui. So the flight, the 5-star hotel, everything, all on my own. My husband did not pay for it, and it's not because he's a bum. He's a, because he's a professor. He he had money, but I wanted to pay for it all because I had that extra money because I made it through my business. I was proud, and I wanted to do that for him because he'd given me so much support over the years. And I've never told anyone about that before, and I'm going to be dropping lots of information on you all today that I've never shared before because it feels weird, and we don't talk about money a lot, especially as women. We often don't, but it's important that we hear each other and we share our own experiences, and we actually tell people, our money numbers because we need to know those in order for everyone to prosper and to be successful and for us all to build wealth. Okay, so that's the first time I felt super boss. And I wanted to share that with you. And I see that money comes up a lot for you all as well. I also want to let you know that this chat is going to go until about noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, just in case. I wanted to let you know what the time is going to be like. I am going to send out a replay. I'm recording this and I'm going to send out a replay afterward. However, I really want you all to stay until the very end. I have some really fun stuff and a special announcement for you all. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to start with where I started with my business 6 years ago. So I opened this business. It was originally called Write Good LLC. It was a play on words because I was writing for the greater good. I've since changed the business name just to my own name. And what many of you know me through is my course name, which is Grant Writing Made Easy. So back in 2015, June, I had just graduated with my PhD in rhetoric, composition, literacy studies in May from the Ohio State University. Any Buckeyes in here? And had been working as a development director at a medium-sized nonprofit for the last 4 months while I finished my PhD. That was my first professional grant writing position. So I had written successful academic research grants during grad school, but that was it. So I learned how to write nonprofit grants on the job. And I found I had a talent for it. It was kind of like putting a puzzle together, and I had a lot of success for that nonprofit. But, and now I'm going to get real with you all. I'm going to share the details here. Since now, especially this is being privately recorded, I feel even a little bit better about sharing this. My workplace was toxic and unsafe. The misogyny was real. It was bad, y'all. And one day I hit my breaking point where I was like, I can't take working here anymore. So the work week ended and I knew I had to be done. I wrote my resignation letter to my boss on Saturday morning and then registered my business online with the state that afternoon. And so I felt desperate. At the time, I felt opening a business was my best/only option. I didn't believe I could find a job here in Oklahoma quickly enough, as quickly as I needed it, because I just came out of grad school. I didn't have a ton of money. You know, I needed to support myself. I was also traumatized from my last experience with my boss. And I bet some of you here have had toxic bosses, unfortunately. And it was so traumatic. I just couldn't even imagine putting myself in a position where someone could do that to me again. Sad, but true. And as women, especially, that's what we're working with sometimes. So I started my own grant writing consulting business with only 4 months of experience with nonprofit grant writing and several years of experience of successful academic research grant writing. And I tell you all that to encourage you because you don't have to come into this with 10 years of experience, which I feared was what I was going to have, and I wasn't going to succeed. Okay. So I started really small, working on tiny contracts with clients that I knew from my previous advocacy work in West Virginia and my research through my dissertation, which was on the rhetorics of advocacy. I also immediately got a subcontract for a small tech writing company owned by a former academic colleague. So that subcontract paid the bills while I got my footing as a grant writing consultant, and also taught me about the intricacies of working with clients. And, you know, I also was able to see another boss and how she built her own business. Okay. So that was crucial for me, is having that subcontracting position. And we can talk about this more later, but if you have an opportunity to do some subcontracting and it's a good deal for you and it's someone you can learn from, I say do it. So I'm going to tell you some numbers now. I've never shared these before. My first year in business, my total revenue was $37,000. $979. I went back and looked at my accounts for you all. Out of that, the salary I took was $28,100. So that means I put about $9,000 into my business expenses that first year. So that was things like licensing, insurance, software, website fees, travel, and professional memberships. Not too bad for my first year, especially, you know, with starting kind of later in the year, starting in June. But it was a struggle, especially in the beginning. I didn't make any money for a couple months. That was scary. But now a lot has happened in between, and we're going to cover some of that here in a little bit. But I want to share with you our numbers for this year. And I'm actually going to put a link here so you can take a look at it. Okay, if you go look in the comments, I'm putting a link so you can see the screenshot. Let's see, I sent that to Alicia. I need to send it to everybody. Okay, everybody, here's the link. Because a lot of people talk big and say, oh, I'm a millionaire, I'm this, I'm that. I'm not a millionaire, but I am sharing my real numbers with you. You can see in my accounting software, it says KristaKerlinkus.com at the top. So last year, our business revenue was $356.57, almost $1,000. And then my salary was, out of that, what I kept, that includes for taxes, was $117,000. Okay, so feel free to take a look at that. Actually, you know what? Now I can share it. Now that I'm on Zoom instead of on Facebook Live, I can actually share that picture with you all. Okay, let me share my photo here. Okay, so yeah, $355,979, and then net profit 117. And you can see that is from my bench accounting software. So I have a company that does all of my bookkeeping and all of that, and that's what that is. Now, I want to share that with you because I just want you to know that it is possible to make money. Not everyone's going to be a millionaire, and I'm not a millionaire, but it's possible to make good money and support yourself doing this type of work. So like I said, that $356,000, it didn't all go to me. I paid my team. I spent money building the inside of my business. Obviously, I spent a lot of money building the inside of my business because I want it to grow and grow and grow from year to year. And I even spent 6 figures just on advertising, which was a huge risk that I'm going to talk more about. And it's one that paid off and got me here today. So investing in my business has always been, you know, the #1 priority for me in terms of how I spend my money. Now, let's talk about numbers in terms of client work. In terms of client work, we have a range of pricing in my one-on-one business, depending upon how many hours you book with us. But I did the math, calculated all of the time we spent last year, and my average price for all the different packages was $156 per hour. So that's how much I charge clients to do their grant writing, grant searches, grant strategy, all of that. Now, that sounds like a huge number, but I'm going to talk more about why it's so high. And I just want to keep in mind now, in between 2015 and 2020 and 2021, there was struggle and setbacks and so many lessons learned. It wasn't all straightforward. There were peaks and valleys, and I'm going to be real with you about that. But ultimately, the lessons that I've learned over the past 6 years and through the explosive growth of just the past year are what I've distilled down into 3 tidy little strategies that I'm going to share with you today. So those 3 strategies are: 1, make boss moves. I'm going to explain what that means. 2, let my purpose guide me. 3, be in community with other entrepreneurial women. Hello, all of you here. And now I'm going to get into strategy #1, which is make boss moves. So, one thing that I've incorporated into my life and that I'm now realizing is probably why I have had success so far is that I make boss moves, what I call boss moves. It's not that I'm not afraid to make these moves or that I'm fearless. It's that I have fear and anxiety, but I work with and through those feelings and my actual real anxiety disorder to make boss moves that many people just wouldn't make. And I'm not just assuming that, like, I've had these conversations with other business owners who are unwilling to pull the lever on these exact decisions because they're too scared. So I want you to tell me right now in the comments, what is a boss move, a boss decision that you have made recently that you're super proud of and that fills your body with joy, that puffs you up when you think about it? It's something that was scary at the time, but now you see just how essential it was for your growth. I would love to hear those in the comments. Firing a client. Yes. Yes. Firing a client. I didn't resign my contract with the school system because I want to venture into other endeavors. Yes, that is such a boss move. Both of these are going out on a limb and, staking a claim for yourself and saying, here are my boundaries. I'm not doing this anymore for money. I'm going to decide what I want. Said no to jobs for nonprofits, no to potential clients who aren't a good fit. Also left a toxic workplace. Good for you. Setting boundaries with clients. Fantastic. Making the decision to leave corporate America. Fantastic. Yeah. Walking away from a nonprofit I loved. Fantastic. Yeah. So you all are already making boss moves. You're capable of making boss moves. We all are. It's simply a matter of knowing you have to keep doing that every single day for matters big and small. I know that I have to make boss moves every day, and I keep that front of mind. And here's why. If I don't leave myself the option to fail, I know I will get my work done. I will reach my goal. I will do whatever it is I need to do. So if I commit to a big new expense, I will do what I have to do to make sure I meet that. If it's bringing on a new team member, I brought several team members on this year or this past year, and I make sure that I can pay them every month. I've never failed to pay someone for their work or even come close. If I need to make it happen, I will make it happen. And I bet you're the same. That's my personality. And so making boss moves and knowing I don't have an option to fail helps me. If I commit to putting a certain amount in my retirement account this year and I tell my accountant that amount is going in come hell or high water. If I tell a client I'll get a grant submitted on time by a certain date, you better believe it's going to be done. Okay. Now, the second reason making boss moves works for me is I take calculated risks. I'm not just throwing caution to the wind and overextending myself on everything, but although I do sometimes overextend myself on some things, I'm still learning, y'all. It means that I test and experiment and research. I take the time to educate myself before making a decision. So, for example, when I decided back in 2017 to take 4 months off from client work, zip, zero, no client work, to rebuild my grant writing course, I had saved a little bit of money to keep the business going. I had taken an online course on how to build online courses, and I had already launched the course the previous year with some small success. So that's that experimenting part. Was it still scary? Yeah. Was it a big financial risk? Of course. Did I have to live on hope and faith for a while? Yeah, for 4 months. But did it finally pay off? Yes, big time. Now, the third reason that I continue every day to make boss moves and know that I can make boss moves and that I will be okay if I make those scary moves, I know that mistakes will be made. Okay. Now let's change that to the active voice. I know that I will make mistakes. When I first started my business, I had to seriously work through my personal aversion to making mistakes. I had a PhD and thought that much of my success so far in life was due to not making mistakes, being as perfect as possible. But now I understand I have to make mistakes and have setbacks to have big growth, breakthroughs, revelations. So every time I mess up, I figure out what I learned from it and what strategies I can develop in response to that mistake. So, one example is my client processes. And I bet some of you can speak to this too. I've made many mistakes over the years with taking on clients, for example, who are not ready to work with me. So, because of my purpose for my business, which guides everything, and is helping people get the funding they deserve to make change in the world and to make it accessible to folks with small, new, or struggling nonprofits, I've taken on clients because I wanted so badly to help them, but at the time they just weren't ready. So this led to grant writing processes with them becoming very difficult, filled with obstacles, and clients who were frustrated they weren't getting the results they wanted, and to me, just being very stressed out. So now I have a written criteria for prospective clients. And when a prospective client books a meeting with me, I have an intake questionnaire that helps me quickly figure out where they are in their nonprofit journey based on their answers to the questionnaire and the conversation that we have. I can quickly tell whether they are ready to work together, and if not, what they need to do to get there. And just to note, that ability to quickly evaluate something like that comes from those years of experience and trial and error and missteps. So the second thing I did was create new offerings to help my clients get grant ready. So rather than just offer grant writing, I also offer grant readiness services because I can't just send prospective clients away and say, do this work first and come back to me when you're ready. Not only am I going to lose clients that way, they may also never get ready because they really do need that guidance. They need someone walking beside them and helping them step by step. So through those failures and having to backtrack with clients, I now have a pre-packaged offering with a nice little checklist and processes to help clients get ready. All right. So now I want to talk about the mindset that you have to have behind making boss moves. Making boss moves in your business relies upon your mindset. And I have to remind myself that all the time. And I have to tell myself that if being a business owner were easy, a lot more people would be doing it. Okay. So I can't have the expectation that this is going to be easy, and I can't complain in my head, oh, this is so hard. Dreading or shying away from or resenting making boss moves and difficult decisions is just not a winning mindset for a boss. It's just not. So, in order to be successful, I've had to shift and constantly work to embrace the mindset of making boss moves. And like I said, being a business owner means making hard decisions and making many, many decisions every single day. And unlike grad school, there's no one there to definitively tell you, here's what to do. Here are the steps. Here is the path clearly laid out for you to getting through grad school, getting your PhD, and becoming a professor. No, none of that is there, as you all know. So in time, you can automate and streamline a lot of processes. But because you have the experience and understand which outcomes are likely based on how you run your business. But the bigger your business becomes, the bigger and harder your most important decisions become. And you have to work on your mindset daily to embrace that challenge inherent in making so many decisions and making so many potentially consequential decisions. So when I'm circling around and around the fact that I simply don't want to make a decision about something and saying, oh, why do I have to make this decision? Why do I have to do this? I stop and I reframe it for myself. So rather than saying I have to do this, I say I get to do this. So not I have to do this, I get to do this. It's a privilege, and that makes the process of decision making much easier. So I want to take a pause and ask you all, what hard decision can you reframe right now as a boss move by saying, I get to do this instead of I have to do this. Oh, we've got a lot of people coming into the waiting room. Hello. Hello. Welcome to new folks joining. So what decision do you need to reframe as I get to do this? Yeah. Ooh, I get to rebrand my business. That is so fun. I think that is like such a fun process, actually. Take courses and training to improve my future. Yes, I get to be the CEO of my nonprofit for a second term. Congrats. I get to design what I want my day-to-day to look like and work from home balance. Isn't that such a privilege? I get to help a homeless shelter. Amazing. I get to enhance my grant skills. Yes, and become more valuable. I get to reframe the choice to not work with every client. Yes, yes, yes. I get to pave my own path and grow my business. I get to make time to actually sit down and set my procedures in order. Yes. Okay. Amazing. So next, I want to go on to how I make those decisions. What is my guiding framework? So that's strategy 2. I let my purpose guide me. So ultimately, grant writing, as you all know, is purpose or mission driven. That means our decisions are led by doing good in the world, not just turning a profit for our business. Not that the two are diametrically opposed, not at all, but I always let the fact that I want to do more good in the world through my business and help people who don't have access to the help I believe they should guide my decision making. So years ago, I was struggling with making some big decisions about what I offered and how I priced it. And I decided I would start asking myself, how will this particular product and service and price help people? And how can I make it as helpful as I can? How can I make it the most informative, enjoyable, fabulous experience for people? So part of that is pricing my client services and my courses so that folks can afford them. And part of that is pricing my services and courses high enough that I can afford to do an amazing job for my clients because I'm not doing a million different jobs at once and I can pay all my bills and not be worried from day to day. So don't undersell yourself as a grant writing consultant and don't accept less than you should. Because if you do, you will resent it. Your clients will feel that resentment and it won't be a positive experience for anyone. So you think, oh, well, I'm doing them a favor. I'm giving them a good deal. No, actually, you're not. You're not doing them a favor. You're not doing yourself a favor because everything will be better when everyone feels that they're paying and what they're being paid and what they're paying is fair. Okay. Now, I generally tell other grant writers, especially women, to double what they're currently charging without even knowing what they're charging because most of y'all are way undercharging. I bet you even know if you're undercharging. So let me know. And then someone also asked, what do you think about grant writers that charge a percentage of the grant award? No, not allowed to do that. Not allowed to do that. Okay. You need to be charging for the services you're providing as you're providing them. That's actually against Code of Ethics for the Grant Professionals Association. Yeah, you said, I've been told I undercharge way too many times. Yes. Think about the benefit and the value you're giving your clients. Okay. Even if they don't win the grant, they are getting a product that they can use and reuse over and over again. All right. Okay. So with that being said, that doesn't mean charge $1,000 an hour or come right out of the gate just getting started at charging $150 an hour. Some people will tell you that you should price yourself into the heavens so that you are the most exclusive in your field. You know, personally, I don't believe that's always the best strategy. First of all, you have to have the skills, the knowledge, and the success to back up high prices. So pricing your services high isn't what makes you the best. It's everything you did to get to that point. So when I first started writing grants for clients, my prices were low. And I even did some big federal grants for clients for free back in 2016. I booked myself a flight from Oklahoma to West Virginia to pitch my free grant writing services at a meeting where I knew there would be dozens of potential grant applicants and for this big federal grant. So I offered it for free to get the experience and the positive outcomes, so the success. So I did dozens of hours of work so I could demonstrate this success to future clients. I did it during one grant period for that grant. And now I still am getting clients from going to that meeting. I have a client right now from a meeting I went to 5 years ago who paid me to write that same grant, except now I charge them $150 an hour to do it. And these clients pay that rate and they respect me and my time, and they're thrilled to be working together. So that plane ticket I bought on faith, and it was over $600 because I was flying from a tiny airport to another tiny airport, paid off over the years. And so, you know, that $600 flight may not seem like a big investment to me now, but it was back then. And you'll also see, like, this is talking about strategy number one, too, making boss moves. So letting my mission and my purpose guide me, but also making boss moves. Now, I want to share with you the other side of the pricing coin. When I relaunched my signature grant writing course, Grant Writing Made Easy, in 2017, I priced it high, just like Amy Porterfield, queen of online courses, told me to do. Love her, no shade to Amy. I really learned how to market my courses from her. But for my audience and my demographic for that particular course, which is small nonprofit founders who are struggling to get funded, the pricing was just too much. I had folks who couldn't make all the payments. They got behind on payments. It was hurting my business. It was hurting them. So I switched up my pricing and made my course more affordable and accessible. So no more required payments. Now I have that one-time payment option that gets lifetime access to the course. And then I have the monthly membership option that allows students to end their membership whenever they need to. So no more fighting for payments, only happy customers who have flexible plans. Plus, all of that was going back to my goal of wanting to democratize grant writing and grant writing education for nonprofit leaders, not further gatekeeping, okay? So I feel confident in that decision. Now my prices may go up in the future, just depending upon, you know, how I need to expand the course. But everything I do, whether the decision is to price higher or to price lower, is guided by my goal, my purpose, to provide amazing value that helps people, not just in this cursory way, but in a deep, life-changing, business-changing way. So, for example, this past year, we went from hosting one grant writing workshop per month to 2. I made that decision because the course was getting so big with so many members that I felt more workshops would provide more opportunities for interaction that the students needed. There's no extra fee tied to it, and there wasn't any initial thought about money either. I just saw they needed it and made it happen. So this is how purpose could guide me in 2 different ways, seemingly in conflict, you know, pricing services higher, pricing courses lower. But rather than letting money be the guide, I let my purpose be the guide, and knowing my audience and my clients and my students. So next, my purpose also resides in my body as a guide. So if I'm not sure what to do and I'm really stuck on a decision, I look at how I feel when I'm thinking about it. Do I feel anxious? And if you don't know what anxiety feels like, is your breath getting shallow? Are your muscles tensing, or your shoulders up around your ears? Do you get excited? Do you feel a rush of pleasure when you think about something? So I want to hear from you all. Do you all ever have a visceral physical reaction when you're trying to make a decision? Do you notice it? So think about a big decision you've been pondering, and I want to know, how does your body feel when you're thinking about it? Because if you're in your head and you can't make a decision, go into your body. Go into your body and it will tell you. The body knows. Okay, yes. So Jay Potter said, yes, usually anxiety. Stacy, I always feel it in my gut and go with it. Yes. Angela, feeling upset. Yeah. And I know when you're in your head so much, you're taught to ignore the body and just think it through logically, but the body knows things we don't know. I don't realize I'm stressing out until something breaks down in my body. That has happened to me, and I've been hospitalized because of ignoring my body for so long. Yes, so we can't do that. We can't do that as bosses. I meditate to get clarity, fantastic. Uneasiness or anxiety, my body really doesn't want to. If a decision makes me dizzy, I know I need to reconsider. Oh, I felt that, like vertigo. Even if I'm scared to go forward, restless, up all night. Yes, 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 all of these things. So you all are pretty in tune with your body, and we can continue to grow in that. Ooh, I feel an extra heartbeat. That is intense, yes. So like I said, I rely on feeling a physical sensation a lot because my body knows. My mind will trick myself, but the body knows. Moreover, if my muscles are clenching up and my breath gets shallow because I deeply hate the idea of something, not only do I have intuition that it's not a good move practically, I also know that if I make that choice, my body is going to fight it every step of the way, thus making it a bad decision whether or not it would have worked out well or not. So either way, it ain't going to work for me because I would be physically fighting it all along the way. Now, furthermore, my purpose is to do good in the world, which relies on me and everyone involved in my business to feel good in their bodies. So if we're not doing that, what are we doing? Why are we bosses? So if this concept is a new one and you really want to learn more, I do want to share some recommended reading with you. So the first one is by Adrienne Marie Brown. I'm actually going to share the link in the chat with you because I want you all to go get this book. She is a queer woman of color, and she teaches us about pleasure as activism. And the second one is called Bodyfulness, Somatic Practices for Presence, Empowerment, and Waking Up in This Life. So even just thinking now about our bodies, I know I'm a little hunched over because I'm trying to speak into this microphone. So just open up your chest a little bit, stretch out, take some deep breaths. Okay. Now I'm going to move on, stretch out, to the third strategy, which is be in community with other entrepreneurial women. One of the biggest moves I've ever made for my business was to join a small women's business mastermind group that met once every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, we did a 1-hour meeting with 2 of us in a hot seat, each 30 minutes. So we would each do a deep dive on a particular idea or issue in our business. We would talk through all the minutia of it, right? And get input from the whole group. So this was completely new to me, completely different than just Googling my questions, my business questions, and researching and reading books and listening to podcasts. Because during this time, we could go in depth into the very particular circumstances, systems, and needs of that specific question in our business. In addition, it was way better than getting particular advice from one business owner because each business owner had their own perspective and experience. And sometimes one perspective applied to me or my situation or resonated way better than another. For years, I had thought through big decisions of my business on my own or only with the consultation of my husband, who is very smart but has zero entrepreneurial experience in his life. So having this group of women who were successful and not only understood business, but also being a woman in business was crucial for me. And real quick, Angie asked me to mention another instructor, Amy Porterfield. She is the one that I learned how to develop online courses from. Okay, I'm just letting more people in the room real quick. Welcome to new folks here. This is going to be recorded, so if you're coming in late, don't worry. So I can trace some of my business successes back to that group, including changing my course pricing and massively increasing my sales and charging more for my client work. So most of the women in that group at that time were much more successful than me in terms of years of experience, right? We always have to define success, right? Because it's different for everyone. But in terms of years of experience, annual revenue, size of their team, and their personal salary, being among them and seeing how they made their decisions, from the inside perspective, being vulnerable with them and sharing my own expertise led me to level up my business in ways I had no idea how to do on my own, and it would have taken me years to figure out. So this group of amazing women also helped me rethink my mindset. So during the time I was in that particular mastermind, I was pregnant for the first time and exhausted. I felt guilty and weak because I was so tired and nauseous all the time. I mean, I would take a 2 or 3 hour nap in the middle of the day during that first trimester. Anybody been there, done that? But we are always pushed as business owners to be productive, be on top of everything. Don't let those things get us down. So it took this whole group of women, like 9 women, reassuring me every other week that this is normal, that I was doing an incredibly difficult and draining work of producing a human in my body, and that it was okay. And this info might seem basic, but when you're living it and when you're struggling with your own, your own mental hamster wheel of like, I shouldn't be feeling this way. I should just power through it. Um, it's really important. And it might seem basic, but I didn't have any other women business owners in my life. I was relying on info from strangers, podcast hosts, big business gurus out there in the world who were talking about how they were more productive than ever while they were pregnant. They felt like, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm producing life, and I'm also producing all this in my business. And I was like, oh, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I not feeling that way? Why do I feel like every last ounce of my life is being drained out of my body? Whether that was true for them and they really did that or not, good for them. It wasn't my experience, and I was letting all of that make me feel like an absolute failure. So these real women who were actually here and speaking to me personally were the ones who let me understand that it was okay, that I shouldn't hold myself to these impossible standards these gurus were setting. Sometimes you just need a group of women cheering you on, validating you, and sharing their own struggles with you to know that you really are doing amazing things. And if you're sitting here on this call right now, I know that you are doing amazing things. You have ambition to do more amazing things. And I want to tell you, wherever you're at and whatever you're doing incredible. Okay. You're doing amazing. All right. So those were my 3 strategies for business success. They're kind of big picture, and they're not everything, but they're the foundation for me. Okay. And just a quick review. I'm also going to put these in the comments if you want to write these down. Those are my 3 strategies: making boss moves, letting my purpose guide me, being in community with other entrepreneurial women. Okay. Yes. And you all said I needed to hear that. Oh my gosh. Latina is a mom of 5 and pregnant with our 6th. Listen, you are superhuman. You are incredible. I told my husband I can't have any more kids. I don't know how anybody has more than 1 kid. Anybody who does is incredible. So congrats to you. Shay, you have 5 boys. Incredible. You all are amazing. Okay. Okay, so now what I want to do is talk to you about next steps. So I've been sharing with you the big picture of my business, strategies and mindset shifts that have helped me have success over the last 6 years now. And like what I've shared today is just honestly the tip of the iceberg. Because as you know, when you get down in the weeds and in the day to day, there's so much more that you have to figure out all along the way. And it's not just one size fits all, it's personal to you, right? Everybody's situations are different. Some people have 6 kids, some people have 1 kid, some people have daycare, some people don't. I don't have family here, so living through this pandemic and not having daycare and doing all of it on our own has been really hard. So the advice that I would have for myself might be different for someone else who's single, who doesn't have kids. It's so personal. So there's no one size fits all. Here's exactly what you should do. So you may have heard of this already. The last 2 years, I had a grant writing consultant mini course. Some of you might have been in it. It was a one-time 2-hour workshop, and I presented the basics of getting started with a grant writing consultancy and building it. I had a workbook and several templates, and I enjoyed the course. The course participants benefited from it. I knew I could do more, teach more, provide more long-term support, create a space for more diverse perspectives, and really give that individualized work, individualized attention. So I'm not opening that course up again this year. As far as I know, I think that course is closed for good, unless I change my mind, which could happen. But that course is closed. Instead, what I created this year is a brand new membership space for grant writing bosses to level up their businesses. So it's called the Grant Writing Boss Club. And today it is officially open for registration. And I'm giving a discount right now through April 20th. If y'all don't want to join me, that's fine. Anybody here, join me. Get the information I share, take it and use it. But if you are interested in hearing more about the club, please stick around, because I want to share how I've built it so that it can benefit you all. Okay, because like going back to my purpose, I didn't want to create a one-off workshop that was kind of helpful. I wanted to create an immersive experience that was going to support you all for the rest of the year. Okay, so here's what's in the Grant Writing Boss Club. We have 6 live virtual workshops. Each one is 3 hours long, okay? And we will take breaks and we will move our bodies and we will get up and stretch. And if y'all need to stretch right now, please do it. So each workshop is going to have guest experts from all over the world. I didn't even intend this to begin with, but all of the grant writing bosses that I'm bringing on, there's only one other one who is in the US. Everybody else is all around the world. So you're going to get some very diverse, interesting perspectives from remote grant writers who are bosses of their own businesses from all around the world, because I didn't want it just to be me and my perspective. I wanted it to be experienced, successful people from all over, sharing their own perspectives, and they're all at different career stages as well. So we have folks who've been doing it for 20 years, folks who've been doing it for 1 year, so that you can really place yourself where you need to be. So those 3-hour workshops, the first 2 hours are going to be guest speakers and me speaking. And some workshops have like 3 or 4 guest speakers. We're all talking together in kind of a round table and answering your questions and conversing with you. At the end of each of those 2 hours, we'll then have a 1-hour work session during which you make it work. You start implementing what we talked about that day, because I don't want to just talk at you. I want us to do it together. And whatever we've discussed that day, you're going to get done that day. Okay. We'll have breakout sessions during that hour, so you can also share and exchange work and get feedback from your peers. And it'll all be on Zoom, so you never have to deal with stupid Facebook Live again. I'm about to write Facebook Live off forever at this point. So our first workshop is coming soon on Tuesday, April 27th. And then the following workshops are every Tuesday for the next 5 weeks. So if you can't make the live workshop, send us your questions in advance and get the answers. We'll talk about your questions, even if you're not there, and when you watch the recording. Okay, I need to take a pause, take a drink. of water. All right. So the other thing that's in the Boss Club is a comprehensive digital workbook. So we had a workbook in the Grant Writing Consultant mini workbook. It's getting a total revamp, new information, beautiful new design, incorporating different perspectives. And it's going to take you through the process of setting up your grant writing business and growing it. So if you're someone who already has your grant writing business, then this is not just going to teach you how to do what you already know. It's going to also teach you how to grow it. And I saw some people in here asking about hiring. Okay. And if you're in the process of thinking about hiring, this will help you with that process as well. Carol, yes, you can join the Boss Club while in the process of starting your business. That is what it is built for. Even it will teach you the legal things that you need to do to set up your business properly and not get in trouble. Okay, because there are specific things we as grant writers have to do. Okay, so the course also has done for you templates, so you don't have to design your own contracts, marketing pitches, business systems, and more. Every template is customizable, so you can totally make it your own. But I didn't just make this stuff up for this course. It's what I use. I even have a contract that I had a, sorry, my voice is going, I have allergies this week. That I had my attorney consult on and help me with to make sure it was a rock solid contract for you all, okay? So yeah, so all of those templates you get. Okay, in addition, after the 6 weeks are over, you get monthly check-in calls with me and everyone else in the club. I realized doing the grant writing consulting mini course that it was really just dipping your toe in the water. People really needed the ongoing support. And so that's what this club provides. So it's kind of like that grant writing mastermind that I talked about, where we can celebrate your wins, encourage you, and help you plan your next steps and figure out your particular situations that you have going on inside your business. The other question is, or the other question, sorry, I was looking at your all's questions. The other thing is we have a Boss Slack workspace, okay? So instead of Facebook, because I'm getting about fed up with Facebook if you can't tell, we're gonna go on Slack because we're not here to play. We are doing work. We're communicating in a Slack workspace. It's organized where you can have in-depth conversations with other consultants around the world, network, learn from other experts, even collaborate on projects together. At the end of the 6 weeks of the workshops, you will get our official customized completion certificate and our certified grant writing consultant logo, a PNG file to display on your website, and any marketing materials. So if you want to share that you've been through this consultant course and you feel that it gives you a bit of boost to your reputation, you can have that logo. And then finally, we're going to have a party because when you work like a boss, you need to party like a boss, celebrate your wins, because if you're not celebrating and enjoying it, why are you doing it, right? So we're going to have a 1-hour Zoom party. I wish it could be in person, but it's a Zoom party, and it's not going to be super long because I know y'all are going to be Zoomed out, but we plan to spend our time together hearing about all of your successes, celebrating and elevating each other. I want to know, did you get a new client? How much did you make? We're sharing numbers. We're sharing everything that we've done through the course, okay? Because we need to celebrate and have fun and have pleasure, okay? Now, I also want to tell you like the layout, the course schedule, okay? So week 1 is know yourself, narrow in on your genius, and design your services, okay? So helping you figure out how to, or what you want to do, how you want to price it, how you want to position your skills and expertise, and getting all of that written up and ready to go. Week 2 is get legit, set up your business, create rock solid contracts, and protect yourself. And we're going to have an attorney there providing not legal advice, but education, right? Telling you how to make sure that you are protecting yourself financially, legally, make sure you have good contracts, make sure you're registered as you need to be registered, all of that. And then he can answer your specific questions as well. And then you can take our contract templates and get that ready to go. My goal with this is to make sure you're ready to go to either get started for the first time or level up your business. Rona said, is completing the course required before joining Boss? No. So grant writing made easy? No, you don't have to complete that. If you know how to write grants, come on in, or even if you don't, I've got something to tell you too. So week 3 is build wealth, okay? Because I don't just want you to get paid. I want you to create financial freedom for yourself and everyone you work with. And I'm bringing in a fractional CFO, okay? I didn't even know what that word was 2 years ago. But it means that she is the chief financial officer for multiple nonprofits and businesses around the world. She was in my mastermind group. She is super successful. She helps her clients make a lot of money, okay? And that's what we want for you. We want you to build wealth for everybody, your clients, yourself, and your team when and if you have one. Week 4 is called Pipeline to Signed, and it is about getting clients consistently and quickly. And I have a student from my grant writing consultant course, the mini consultant course, and Grant Writing Made Easy coming to speak with you all, because she's got some pretty amazing strategies for getting clients signed, marketing herself. I also have Alicia, who's going to be talking about what she does as well. Alicia works with me and she's amazing. She has totally different strategies for getting clients. So I want you to see, I'll also be sharing my strategies, but I want you to see the different pathways there are and find the one that works best for you. Then week 5 is called You Better Work, because I do love Britney Spears. Free Britney. It's designing your work processes that guarantee great experiences for you and your clients, right? Because once you get into doing the same type of work over and over, and once you have niched yourself down into doing that over and over, then you can have processes that you go boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're going to do a grant search for this person. Here's exactly how we do it. We're going to give you those templates, but we're also going to talk with, I think it's like 4 people on that day who are going to share how they design their work processes. Most of them are international grant writing consultants, but we have everything from this, like people who are just getting started to people who've been doing this for many, many years. And then finally, week 6 is Get Your Mind Right. So mindset for building wealth, a legacy of good, and personal freedom. So we're going to have an actual mindset consultant coming to speak with your mindset coach, coming to train us and speak with us and help us get our minds in the right place and talk through any blocks, issues that we have. And the thing I love about her is she's a feminist and she is anti-racist and she doesn't believe in all of this toxic positivity stuff, right? She's going to be real with you and say, yes, here are the external circumstances that are doing X, Y, and Z. Now, here's how we can respond, right? So it's not all on you. It's not a bootstraps mentality, but there is mindset work that we can do to succeed. Okay. Now I do want to go ahead and share the link to the course to the club with you. And apologies for my hoarse voice. So here's the link to the club so you can look into it a little bit more. I'm going to keep talking, but also be taking questions as I'm going. So I want to tell you a little bit more about what makes my club different from other business clubs that you might encounter, other memberships. So first of all, the workshops and everything are taught and led by me, a trained educator. Being a successful expert or consultant doesn't always make you a great teacher. So I do have training in teaching rhetoric and writing. I taught university writing for over 6 years. I know a few things about curricular design and pedagogy, so I've set it up for success in that way. The other thing is, it's not just me, it's not just my perspective. It features guest experts every single week. So I lined up all these experts to help you get the best education you can get. You're not just getting my expertise and perspectives every week, you're getting access to a bunch of pros. The course is also grounded in equity and justice. So I believe in and actively fight for racial, ethnic, economic, gender, LGBTQ plus and disability equity. My teaching content and guest experts reflect that focus. So if that makes you uncomfortable or you think that's wrong, this ain't the spot for you. Like, we're going to be talking about patriarchy, feminism, racism, because all those things interfere with our lives, right? Social and economic injustice, it's all embedded in the work that we do. And as people who work for nonprofits and with nonprofits, I bet a lot of you know that, right? The next thing is it's results oriented. So I'm here to help you succeed, i.e. make that money and keep clients happy. I don't want you just to learn a bunch of stuff and never use it. So we'll take action. That's why we have that last hour of every workshop dedicated to making it happen. The other thing is it's pleasurable. Like, ultimately, I think everything you do as a business owner should have some element of pleasure to it. If not, why are you doing it? So the content to the design to the personalities that you'll encounter in the club, the experience is going to be a pleasurable one, guaranteed. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm answering questions. Let me take a quick question break here. Yeah, so here, let me say, this is not for teaching you how to write grants. That is what my other course, Grant Writing Made Easy, is for. And I'm just going to pull that course up for anyone here who wants to also take that. I have had students kind of do double duty and take that class while they're taking other courses with me. So let me share that in the comments. If you're wanting to learn to write grants, that is where you can learn that. But if you already know how to write grants, or you're a great grant writer, or you're a great writer in general, and you want to take those skills and apply them to grant writing, and you're willing to do some reduced or free work, willing, to get some volunteer experience, build your success, that's something we talk about in the course as well. And I talked about that here at the beginning, how I did free work and took some financial risks in the beginning and priced my services really low to get going. So that's something we'll talk about in the course and teach you as well. Let's see here. How have you guys measured the success of people who've taken your courses? So it's hard to do it quantitatively. What we do is qualitative measurements of success. 1 second. So we ask that our students fill out our surveys when they've completed our course or when they're at least halfway through the course, so that we know what's working for them, what's not working for them. And you'll see that if you're in our courses, we're always updating and improving them to address your needs. Nope. Justy said, if you have missed one of the live workshops due to a previous obligation, we'll have access to a recording. Yes, absolutely. Sorry. Yeah, so that will all be up within 24 hours. So if you miss a workshop, you can come to it. Okay, I'm sharing the link again. I haven't even talked about pricing yet, so I know I need to go back to that. So right now until April 20th, I'm doing a special intro discount for the membership. You can choose one payment of $999 or 4 payments of $333. Once you complete the 4 payments, that is a lifetime membership. The $999 is as well. Yeah, Jay said I work full-time as a staff writer. Have to find out if I can take this during the workday on Tuesdays. Got ideas about how to sell that to the boss. Tell them it's professional development. Yeah, tell them it's professional development. Cynthia said, how do I answer the question, what is your success rate when writing grant proposals? That is a fantastic question. I get it all the time. And I always tell people success rate depends on so many things beyond the quality of my writing and my consulting. It depends upon the quality of your nonprofit programs, your finances. It depends on the grant maker's priorities for that year. So I can't control that. What I can do is give you the best piece of writing and the best experience and give you the advice before you apply for a grant that helps you understand whether it's a good opportunity for you or not. So I used to apply for any grant opportunity that someone asked me to apply for. Now I say, you know, this really isn't the best opportunity. Yes, so, oh, okay, Jean said, could you repeat the pricing? $999 are actually 4 installments of $333. I'm gonna type that out for you all. And that is gonna last, oops, until 333, sorry. That is gonna last until April 20th, and then that pricing goes away. The price goes up to $14.99 or 4 payments of $500. So yeah, that's a huge discount. It's a $500 discount if you are doing the one-time payment, and it's a $668 discount if you do the 4 payments, okay? So that's through April 20th at 11:45 p.m. Central. Now, the other thing I want to say to you all is today, if you join the membership today, I've got some little special prizes for you. It's not the first 5 people, not the first 10 people. Anybody who joins today are going to get some little fun merch that I made. So you can see I've been drinking my water out of this. It's backwards because I'm on Zoom, but it says Grant Writing Boss, okay? Because it's hard to find merch about being a grant writing boss, I know. And then the other thing is this lined Grant Writing Boss notebook. You can see I have writing in there. I use this all the time, okay? So those are going to be free to anybody who joins today. I'll mail them out to you wherever you are in the continental US. Yeah. So other questions I'm seeing is very hard to get estimates. How can we write the grant without estimates? So Karen, I think you're talking about budget estimates for the client. You know, you have to do a little benchmarking. If it's equipment, you can get estimates. If it's salaries, you can go to salary.com and see what that position should be paid in your area for the level of experience you need. And I'm with you, it is definitely hard to get budget estimates, but it is something that you have to do. And grant makers understand that those can change slightly. Just make sure that you get their pre-approval before making any major changes to the budget after you've been awarded the grant. So that's a good question. Okay, I'm going to share the link with you all again to the Grant Writing Boss Club. I'm so super excited to be doing this and having all of these amazing guest experts come and work with you all. So not only share their expertise, but do the actual work of getting this done. Because I want you to come out of this with your contract ready, your marketing materials ready, your website copy ready, your digital strategies ready if you're going to do social media, which you all should. A budget, a cash a cash flow plan, all of that. Okay, so I want you to come out with all the materials you need. If you already have materials, we're going to upgrade them. Okay, we want you to be the grant writing boss of your dreams. Okay, that's what I'm here to help you do. Okay, other questions. They don't have to be about the club membership. They can just be about grant writing in general, your specific questions about your own consulting business. I'm here to help. I'm here with you today. I have bad allergies and I'm coughing, but I'm here. Anybody else have a question? How do you find grants for others? Okay, so I have a service that is a grant search and prospect evaluation. Denise said, GrantStation. That's what I use. Yes, I use GrantStation. I also sometimes use Instrumental. I search on grants.gov. Grants.gov is the free one, but of course it's only federal grants. And I also do, Google. I do Google grant searches sometimes for specific things. Do you recommend a grant management tool such as Grant Hub? Yeah, I don't personally use one because I'm kind of on the other side of things. I'm on, the pre-award side, but if you're working in grant management, I think it's great to use those tools and encourage your clients to use them for sure. Great question. There's also for grant searches, there's FDO, Candid, that's what it is now. Internet said, is there a coupon code on grant writing made easy? I can just actually share a link to the discounted, the 50% discount one. That's the one you would get anyway if you took our other free webinars. So I'm going to share that with you. Okay, let me get the link here. So I'm giving you the link that could be, and anyone in here can use this link. This one is for the subscription version, the monthly subscription, but you can of course also sign up for the lifetime one payment, but that is going to be 50% off for you all for Grant Writing Made Easy. If you're someone who is new to grants, maybe you're a great writer, but you need to also learn that. I would like to take Grant Writing Made Easy while learn to start my grant writing business. Do you think I would get the same benefit from the Boss Club? Yes, I think I know what you're asking. Yeah, so if you're working on becoming a grant writer and you're just learning the genre, but you're already a talented writer, I've had people go through my mini course, actually someone who's going to be a guest speaker in the club, and she was new to grant writing when she opened her consulting business, but she's been really successful at it because she was already a good writer and she had nonprofit leadership experience. So she knew the two worlds and was learning to converge them, and she learned how to do it while she was just opening her grant writing business. So absolutely. Rona said, is it considered consulting or coaching? It just depends on what you're offering. So some of my services I call coaching because I do live one-on-one Zooms with the clients, teaching them how to do what I do, as I'm also like finding the grants, writing the grants, helping them revise their grants. So yeah, it's coaching to me when there's some element of teaching involved, and I consider it coaching when it's mostly them saying, okay, here's the materials, and then I have informational meetings with them to get information, but I'm not necessarily teaching them how to do what I do. That's a really smart question. Yeah. Cynthia said, will the Boss Club be offered continuously every 6 weeks? So once a year, we're going to have the 6 weeks of workshops. And then after that 6 weeks, we're going to have monthly check-in calls on Zoom. Right. And then you have a lifetime membership. So if you want to keep doing those monthly calls and the workshops every year, you can keep doing that. Once you're in, you're in. Gracie said, is Boss membership the same as the GWME, the Grant Writing Made Easy membership? No, totally different things. One is more of just a static course that has the twice monthly writing workshops, but this is a club. This is, we have the live workshops, but the link for the coupon didn't show up. There it is again. So you don't need a coupon for Grant Writing Made Easy. You just need the link that I shared with you there. And then I'm also sharing again the link to the Grant Writing Boss Club membership. Yeah, so the membership is more of an intensive process, much more of an intensive process. There's a lot more support, a lot more interaction, and it's about the business side of things. So about you making money and making your clients happy and getting them grants, while the other course is just about grant writing. It's not necessarily tied to your business. It's not teaching you business strategies. It's just teaching you about writing and grant budgets and all of that. Good question. All right. Any other questions? I wanted to share a little bit more about who this course is for. If you're still kind of deciding, is this course right, or not course, or membership right for me? I'm so used to doing courses. So I wrote out a list because I want you to know, I'm trying to find it here in my notes. I want you to know that it's the right spot for you. So I only want people in this club who are going to benefit from it. Okay, so here are some criteria to help you decide. The club is right for you if you need extra income, want to replace your full-time job, or want to grow your existing freelance business. The membership is for you if you want to create a business that actually builds wealth for you, your family, your clients, and any employees or contractors you hire. This club is for you if you love serving the greater good, working with a wide variety of people and organizations, and learning all the time. It's for you if you want to work from home and meet with clients virtually, right? Don't we all need this right now? Or you can also do in person as well as you're able. So the membership is for you if you want to learn to set your own schedule or be able to set your own schedule with your business, whether that's because you have kids or parents to care for, or you just want to do you. It's for you if you're business minded, like you love finances or are willing to learn to love it. If you love marketing, designing business processes, and just getting stuff done. It's for you if you have at least 2 years of experience writing grants, whether as a freelancer, staff grant writer, volunteer, or academic researcher, or you are a skilled writer, not necessarily with grant writing experience, but you're willing to learn. Okay. Now let me check in. I know you've got some questions. Okay, so for clarification, oh, you guys, I see what's happening. The link isn't showing up because I was actually sending it to everyone in the waiting room somehow. Okay, so I'm sending you that link in the chat. I'm sending you the Grant Writing Made Easy link. Okay. I don't know why I was sending things to people in the waiting room, but here we are. Does everyone see it now? Laudia said, I'm a current PhD student. Hi. And you are doing amazing. If you're a PhD student, you're just doing amazing work. Just know that you are doing great. Do you know if universities work with such consultants? Thank you. Yes, I have worked with universities. One of my biggest grant awards for a client was for a community and technical college. Yes, so they do. And if you want tips in the club, when you join the club, how to do that, I will give you the full details on that. Yeah, Samari said, if I purchase today with the installment plan, will I still get the Grant Writing Boss goodies? Yes, yes. Even if you're doing the installment plan, you get the grant writing boss goodies, okay? Everybody today gets the grant writing boss goodies. All right, you all. Let me share this link just to make sure. Again, everyone is seeing it. Yeah, so $9.99 for the one payment. That's right. Okay, so Denise said you just had the Grant Writing Made Easy webinar registration. Now what I'm sharing, the one I just shared, is for the Grant Writing Boss Club. So I'm sorry if I'm confusing you all. I'm sharing both because some people want to learn grant writing and some people are like, I'm ready to build my grant writing business. Let's go. That's what the club is for, to help you build your business, make money while you're helping other people get awarded money. All right. And the two are not in conflict. If you're feeling the two are in conflict, we need to work on it because it's not true. The two are not in conflict. You can make money, be successful personally, individually, while also helping your clients be successful, okay? Yes, other questions you all have? You have any specific questions about your own consulting work? I'm happy to answer. I don't know everything, so I will say that, but that's why I have people in the club who are there to help you. That's why I have all those experts. Yeah, Samari said I bought the Grant Writing Made Easy course a year ago. Is the course still the same? You know what? The course, Grant Writing Made Easy, the course changes all the time. Not like drastically, but like I add new stuff all the time. Things get updated. So if you have lifetime access, you can jump in at any time and learn from the course. Do you have errors and omissions insurance? That's what you said, E&O. Yes, I have a business insurance with multiple things, including that, and it is through. I'm blanking on who it's through right now. It's not like some super well-known name. It's like a subdivision of a well-known insurance company, but I can share that with you all inside the membership. I'm trying to think of who it's through. It doesn't really matter too much, I don't think, who you get it through, as long as it's a reputable insurance provider. Do you base the amount you charge for grant writing on how much they are applying for, i.e. 10,000 and you charge 1,000, or do you just have an hourly price? That's a great question, Margie. I have an hourly rate. I have gone back and forth over the years on how I do that, and people will tell you don't charge an hourly rate, you're pricing yourself out, whatever. It works for me, and that is the way I can be consistent in knowing that I cover my expenses and I cover my contractors, so my team, to make sure they get paid for the time we spent. Because haven't you all had a client where it's like, this grant's going to take me 10 hours to write, and then it takes 20, 30 more because they're working on other things besides, you've got to help them with developing the program or evaluating the grants or getting grant ready. So that's why I charge by the hour. Now, other consultants who are in the membership, who are coming as guest speakers and also just members, might tell you differently, and I want that perspective for you so that you can make the decision for yourself, knowing the pros and cons and hearing from years of experience. Let's see. How long is Grant Writing Made Easy available? For the lifetime membership price, it's lifetime. For the payments, you could do monthly membership, so you can go month to month, and with the discount, it's only $10 a month after the first 97. You can cancel at any time, so it's just up to you and how long you want to be in it, and you can rejoin later if you have to cancel. Okay, Virginia, good question. I know there's a certification for grant writers, but you need it to organizations value it. I do not have a certification for grant writing. I have never, not once, had a client ask me for it. So what I tell people is, you can go through like Grant Professionals Association certification. It is expensive, especially if you're just getting started and you have to put time in to do the studying, to go take the test, all of that. Not to say that it's negative. Like, if you feel it helps you, if you feel it adds to your ethos and that it builds your reputation, do it. Absolutely. I didn't feel the need to do it. I think it's totally great if you do it. Ken asked, does my course cover hiring contractors and working with outsourcing work? Yes and yes. So that's going to be part of the processes week and also part of the contracts week, because you've got to have contracts, not just with your clients, but if you're outsourcing work, then you have to have clients and other agreements with your contractors, right? So great. Yeah, and Kelsey said, yes, it always takes longer, in reference to our typical estimates for what we think grant writing is going to take versus once you start working with another person, what it actually looks like. And those other people are busy and they have many other demands and things on their plate besides working with us as the grant writing consultants. So we have to keep that in mind when we're working with them, right? All right, fantastic. I see you all signing up for the course. I'm getting so excited. Okay, so those of you who join, again, anytime today, you'll get this Grant Writing Boss mug that I designed, as well as this notebook. And Tanette, I have a mentor in business for young women. Will I be fitted for a grant, or will this only be for me to market that I write grants? Yeah, this would be teaching you to market that you write grants. Good question. Brittany, what can I do to contract with clients outside of my state? That's a big question, but in terms of the legal aspects of it, if you're writing for clients in another state or in your state too, you need to be a registered professional fundraising consultant in the state that they're operating out of, if that is required in their state. So you've got to look up the regulations of every state. So I'll show you how to do that, where to get that information, and how to figure out what your registration requirements are. But that is something to keep in mind. You want to make sure that's up to date. Good question. Virginia says, does your course teach you about writing for NGOs? What about for-profit focused grants like SBA stuff or others? You're welcome, Brittany. It doesn't teach you how to write the grants. This is about the business side of how to run your grant writing business. Grant Writing Made Easy teaches that, though. So if you're interested in writing grants and you want to learn how to write grants, that is going to be the course for you. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Jean said, why is there a 2-year experience suggestion for the Boss Club? Just so you have enough experience to be able to do the work. It's a suggestion. Like I said, I had 4 months of nonprofit grant writing experience when I opened my business, but I've also had several years of academic research grant writing. So what the major skill that you really need to have is the ability to learn, first the ability to write well, then the ability to learn the particular requirements of the genre of grants. And, all grants are different, but once you start doing grants, then you understand how to quickly know what it is they expect, how to do budgets, how to navigate portals, especially when it comes to bigger federal grants. So that's why there's the suggestion. It's not a requirement. I think there's some leeway. And like I said, one of the guest experts in the membership in the club is going to be talking about how she did it without any grant writing experience, but with a lot of writing experience plus nonprofit leadership experience. So I think that you've got to have some experience before you go out there. However, you can build that experience once you get started by working at major discounts and sometimes volunteering for clients. I know that this particular person did a little bit of that as well. All right, we've still got people coming in. Welcome, welcome. All right, I see you all joining up for the club. Thank you all so much to those of you who have joined so far. I'm getting so excited. We're gonna have so much fun. I know we're all gonna learn a ton. Keep in mind that right now when you join, and I'm going to share the link again for those of you who are just hopping on here because you can't see the previous chat. I know when you hop in on a Zoom call. We're talking about the Grant Writing Boss Club, my brand new membership club for grant writing bosses, aspiring grant writing bosses. So the membership for that is open as of today. It is being offered one time a year. So this is your time to join up. Samira, no, you didn't miss your mug and workbook. You're still gonna get it. You're still gonna get it. Don't you worry. Yeah. Yes, and Jean said, are there particulars of the different grant types you just mentioned covered in Grant Writing Made Easy? Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, Samira, if you're joining the club today, you're still gonna get the mug and the book. So yeah, all you have to do is join the club today. The discount, like I said, is going to go through April 20th, almost midnight at that time. So if you're like trying to get your money figured out, do it. Like I said, making boss moves involves, you know, taking smart risks, right? So knowing that, you know, you're going to put the money out, but that you're going to make it back, right? Okay. What else? So I want to, well, I definitely went over on my time, y'all. I definitely went way over. Let me see if you have any other questions. So yeah, the Boss Club membership is $9.99 or 4 payments of $333. That pricing lasts until April 20th, and then it goes up to $14.99 or 4 payments of $500. Yeah, thank you so much, Nurse White. Thank you, Tammy. Thanks, Samira. Thank you, Brittany. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, Jeanette, you can join up until, let's see, through April 26th, and then that's the cutoff. The first day of the course or the club is going to be the cutoff, right? So on April 27th, we go live, we do our workshops, all of the materials get uploaded into the course. So Rona said, will Boss assist in establishing a profitable business for grant writing services? Yes. The Boss Club is about making your business profitable. It's not about the writing grants itself. It's about the business side of it. Now, there is some process stuff with writing grants, but it's talking about how to do that with clients. So I always say the difficult thing, and you don't learn this in school, you learn how to write basically for one audience at a time in school. And that audience is usually your teacher, your professor. When it comes to being a grant writing consultant, your audience is both your client and the grant maker. And that is difficult to negotiate. You know, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of skill. And so that's something that we're sharing in our processes week. So yeah, that's going to help you with that. Absolutely, Antoinette, you're so welcome. Have a great day, Rona. Yes, you're welcome, Jeanette. Thank you everybody so much for taking the time to be here with me today, for sticking around or joining us just now. Anyone that is just now joining me, I'm putting the link to the Grant Writing Boss Club in the chat. So that's what I'm talking about. It is brand new this year. Oh, Samari, yes, thank you. I'm so excited too. Okay, Toya, you said that the page loaded. Good, good, good. All right, I'm looking at you all joining. Checking my page here. Oh, we're gonna have so much fun together. This is amazing. Yes, and then if you're wanting to join Grant Writing Made Easy at the same time as the Boss membership, you can absolutely do that. And we already have done one grant writing made easy workshop this month, and we'll be having another one coming up here, I think in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, it has to be the next 2 weeks because we're halfway through the month. Okay, I am going to let you all go. After this is over, if you are on my newsletter list, you are going to get a link to the replay of this. You are also going to get the link to join the Grant Writing Boss Club with the discount. And if you join today, you get your cute little prizes. So you can let everybody know when you're at the coffee shop or wherever that you are a grant writing boss, and maybe get some business because they see that. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Alicia. Have a wonderful day. Jean said, good question. How do I join your newsletter? Let me pull that up real quick. And also our website is grantwritingmadeeasy.com. You can go there. Oops. I didn't mean to send that straight to Samara. I meant to send that to everyone. Okay, so you can sign up for the newsletter there, watch free stuff. Anybody have a, Alicia or anyone have a link to the newsletter? Sorry, y'all. Good question. I wasn't prepared for that question. I'm just pulling up the newsletter link. It should be at the bottom of my site. It's not showing up. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate it. I tell you what. Jean, if you want to put your email in the chat, I'll add you to my newsletter. Hey, Gracie, thank you. Or you can also just send your email to support@grantwritingmadeeasy.com. I'm having a hard time doing multiple things at once. Okay, Jean, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll take that email, save it. Tanya or Toya asked, what if you're already registered and paying $10 a month for the grant writing class? Is the one for $97 per month the same subscription? Yes. If you're already paying $10 a month for Grant Writing Made Easy, you're in it. You don't need to pay anything else for that. Today, what I've been talking about most of today is for the Grant Writing Boss Club membership. Totally separate thing. Yeah. All right, Jean, I'm putting you in my notes over here so that I can save your email and add it to our list. Anybody else want your email added to our list? I bet most of you already are. But some of you are just coming to me from Facebook, so you may not be on my list. You can also find tons of free info here at grantwritingmadeeasy.com. We have a blog, we have free videos you can watch to learn how to write grants, etc. Okay, and Janine shared her email, Felicia's email. Let me get your email. Look, we can go high tech, but we can also go low tech. I'll just copy and paste here. Okay, Elizabeth, I've got your email. Rhonda, I've got your email. Andy said, what is the dates and timeline for this week's event? So the first workshop for the Boss Club is April 27th. Then it's going to be every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern for the next 5 weeks following that first workshop. So good question. And then after this ends, I'm going to send out, like I said, to everyone on my email list, a recording of this event. All right, y'all. Okay, I don't think I have any more questions or emails to grab. If you still need help, have a question about getting signed up or anything else, please email Alicia and she will help you out at support@grantwritingmadeeasy.com. We're here to help. I hope you all have a wonderful